Welcome back, Bigfooters. It's Wednesday. Time to celebrate the WENCH podcast.
That's right. Keep that energy up, everyone. Woo! Let's dance for the WENCH podcast.
Every Wednesday night, 7:30 to 9:30. Dance with us.
Keep it up, Bigfooters. See you next week.
Woo!
That's cool.
Much shorter than the other one.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Good to see you. Great to see
Hi, everybody.
There's all kinds of people in here I see, and oh my, great to see everyone. But tonight we have a really great guest. I can't wait to bring him on, Greg Ogles. But first, we do have a few announcements to make, as well as our prayer requests. And I did want to go over, there's a little bit of a schedule here that I wanted, just a very short schedule of festivals coming up. And if anyone else knows of any festivals or conferences, please go ahead and post it in the comments. Let everyone know. But August 29th is the Crypto Festival. That is in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. Hey, Leonard. And then September 12th is the Shenango Township, Lawrence County, Pennsylvania. And that's in just outside of Newcastle, PA. I will have a booth. I'll be set up there. It's only 15 minutes away from my home. It's nice and close. And my husband will be there to give me a hand. So that'll be nice. It'll be my first time there at their fall festival. And let's see, October 17th is Library Con 26, the Ultimate Side Quest. That's at the Community College of Beaver County, Pennsylvania, October 17. And then November 6th, I'll be speaking in Corry, Pennsylvania, Corry. This is their first Friday festival. Okay, thanks, Gary. And that's from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., the Corry, PA, first Friday. And I'll be speaking, and I'll have a booth set up. Yeah, and Gary put up the Hanobia Bigfoot Festival, October 2, 3, and 4. Man, that's something I really want to get to one of these days. How about you, Mark? Have you ever gone to that one?
I have not, no.
No.
Yeah, I'd like to go out to Oklahoma sometime, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. I love it out there. Love it. Okay, and...
So I know there's one coming up in North Carolina also on August, but I can't find it. I was going to try to find the details of it, but I know it's coming up. I think it's also on the weekend of August 29th, or maybe it's just a one-day thing. And I thought it was put out by the North Carolina Bigfoot Research, but I went on their page and it's not listed there. But I know I saw it. I just don't know where it went.
Oh, okay.
So people can, I'll keep looking, or people can probably find it even if they do a Google. It's in, what was the name? Oh, no, I remember it was called Western. I remember it was called Western North Carolina because I almost complained at them about it, because I'm in Western North Carolina. And when I looked it up, it was like almost 2 hours east of me.
Oh.
And I was like, that doesn't seem like very much Western. But anyway, yeah, it's called Western. I found it, Western North Carolina. I'll try to put a link up here if I'm smart enough to do it. Western North Carolina Bigfoot Festival, August 29th in Marion, North Carolina. So I don't know I know we have a few watchers from North Carolina. I don't know if they already know about that. If I can get back to where we are here.
Yeah, and Greg posted the Cornwallis Festival in Alabama. That's the first weekend of October, and he'll be speaking there. I don't know who else, but That's with Sheila.
Oh yeah, Scott and Sheila Granger.
Yes, Scott and Sheila Granger. Oh, such a nice couple. We had them on here a couple weeks ago. They were so nice.
Yep.
Sounds like a lot of fun too to go on one of their adventures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're young enough to keep up with them.
Which, nope, not anymore.
Yeah, me either. But
those days are done. Okay, yeah, I see you posted a link there.
yeah, it didn't come up with a picture for whatever reason, but that's the link to it. So
yeah, they won't in that one, but at least they have the link for it.
Yep.
Okay, and yeah, I don't see any other festivals that anyone else has listed, and I know that there's a whole bunch. And I say this every year. I really need to write all of them down.
Oh yeah.
They share them in the group, and I forget to mark them down so I can announce them on here. All I know is my local ones here in Pennsylvania. All right, so prayer request, and I want everyone to know, just a reminder, if you have a prayer request, please, you can message me privately, or else you can also just type in the comments prayer request. You don't have to go into detail. You truly don't. Just type in prayer request. We've got a bunch of prayer warriors here, both Mark and myself, and we'll put you on our prayer list. And but I wanted to give a special shout out to Debbie Preggy. Her grandson Cooper, she had requested prayer requests for her grandson Cooper. And then I heard from her just before the show that he's home and doing better. And now her other grandson, Colson, is in need of prayer. And let me see who else. A friend of mine, her name is Robin. Special prayer request for her. And everyone else, I will keep them private. But I do have a nice long list here. And believe me, I do go over this list every single evening. And I do keep everyone in my prayers. And just want to let everyone know, just don't forget, if you have a special request, you can message me. Probably Mark also message all of us. And anything else you wanted to say, Mark?
No, I thought of a funny story when you were talking about people asking for prayer requests, but I don't have to tell it if you don't want to hear it. So.
No, go ahead.
I used to travel with a preacher a lot. He and I would go to lots and lots of preaching meetings all over the country. And we went to one time in a little bitty kind of backwoods town in Illinois, over on western Illinois near the Mississippi River. And this church didn't even have a restroom. They had an outhouse. It was so back in the woods. Anyway, at the end of the meeting, he was standing back by the door and people were coming by and shaking his hand and different things. And this lady come up to him, and I'm sure she was a nice lady and all. I still to this day, I pick on him every time I see him. But anyway, he says, or she says, she comes up to him and she gets a hold of him by the hand, and she ain't letting go. She's got a hold of him tight, shaking his hand. And, he's smiling and nodding. And she goes, Preacher, I need you to pray for me. I need you to pray for me bad. She said, I got a fungus. And his eyes got as big as saucers, because she isn't letting go. She's got a hold of him and she's not letting go. And she's going, yeah, I got a fungus and I need you to pray for me. Anyway, I always think you'd had to have been there, I guess, but it was hilarious.
Ooh, got a fungus among us.
Yeah. Pray for me. I got a fungus.
I know there was something else I wanted to go over. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh yeah, my husband. I posted about this in the group, and my husband had woken up. Now this happened a few nights ago. He had woken up in the middle of the night because he heard something knocking outside. And he was wondering, what the heck is that? So he walked out to the living room and opened up the door. And, as he was, walking through, all he could hear was, it was tap, 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 or knock, 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 pause, and then knock, 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 pause, and then knock, knock, knock again. And he said this went on for like 2 minutes. And by the time he got to the door and opened it up, he opened the door, and whatever it was, apparently he saw the door opening and ran away. And, he was asking me, what do you think that was? And I said, well, yeah, right now I don't know. I'm not going to say for certain. But there's a pasture across the road from us, a cow pasture, with wood fence posts and a telephone pole over there, and just directly like what, maybe 50 yards, not even 50 yards. And he said it was pretty loud too, enough that it came through the house, which is pretty well soundproof. And so I pretty much figure what it was. And, I told him, I think it may have been a Bigfoot. I don't know what else that it would have been.
What else knocks?
Pardon me?
I said, what else knocks on things?
Yeah, other than humans. And, this is all farm country. Yeah. And, if some person comes around banging on fence posts, well, he's in trouble with the neighbors.
Yeah.
So
I wondered if it could have been close enough it was actually knocking on your house.
No, it in that case it would have woken me up. And I'm just surprised that I didn't wake up, for this knocking, but I must have been pretty well wiped out that day.
Yeah.
And then just maybe 2 hours ago, I was talking with a friend of mine, and they live up in the Allegheny National Forest area of Pennsylvania. And apparently, well, this is a witness heard this on the Bigfoot live stream app. And everyone, you can get on there. It's on YouTube, or it's an app for your iPhone or Android. Bigfoot live stream project is what it is. And everyone becomes part of the research. It's live game cameras 24/7 for, let me see, there's a property in Ontario that belongs to, what's his name, Les Stroud. His property has game cameras on it for Bigfoot activity. Another property in British Columbia, 2 properties in the Allegheny National Forest, and then another property in Texas, near the Austin, just out maybe 50 or so miles from Austin. And they've had all kinds of activity recently also. Some lights have been seen floating around, which is weird. But the property in the Allegheny National Forest, apparently a witness heard the exact same knocking, the same sequence, the bang, 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 pause, bang, 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 pause. And so that property up there is extremely active. It seems like just about every night there's either vocals or something banging on the house, whistles, all kinds of stuff going on up there. But yeah, I do highly recommend. You can even, just look up the Bigfoot live stream project on YouTube and check it out.
I just went there, and I don't know how. Oh, this was done in March. I'm not able to look at it yet. I'm trying to figure out how, but it says March 31st, 2026. They captured a thermal image in Allegheny National Park.
Yeah.
National Forest.
Yeah.
Had you seen that, Mary?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm good. Well, in fact, that's my research area that I've been working on since 2018. And there's a group of us, a few people from Canada, locally here in Pennsylvania, and then the gentleman who runs the live stream project from Texas. And we're all hitting up that property. And it's just fantastic area.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. And anything that you wanted to bring up, Mark? Anything new or?
No, nothing that I can think of. That's all I have.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get you guys' impression of our new intro. I know it's really short, much shorter than our other one. But I think the other one was a little bit too long. That was irritating me. So I set it up so it'll be at the end. It's our outro. So it's still here. Okay, well, what?
I'm just continuing to work on my Bigfoot look. This will be a year in October since I started this. So
we'll okay. All right. Yes, it's growing. It's definitely growing.
Is it growing on you?
Not on me. I don't want it.
Yeah, some people like beards and some don't.
No.
I'm mixed. I get really, really tired of shaving when I don't have it, but then when I do have it, it gets a little hot this time of year if I'm outside very much.
Yep. Yeah, my husband, he said he used to have a beard, and I said, don't grow it back.
It's funny. Some people, some women, even some like them, some don't. So
I think it just depends, really. But no, at least for my husband, I prefer to see his face.
Well, and a lot of people think that it's all wiry and bristly, but mine's not. Some, I guess, are, but mine's real soft. And I always tell people, it's kind of nice to have hair again. I hadn't had hair in like 30 years.
It's gone south, huh?
Yeah.
Up here to here.
Right. Yeah. It just started growing the opposite way because of gravity, I guess.
Yes. Gravity works.
There you go.
All right. Well, tell you what, let's bring Greg on because he's been sitting backstage for, I think, long enough. Yeah. And everyone, just a reminder, if you have a question or a comment for our guest, please put it in all capital letters. That way I'll see it and I'll be able to put it up on screen for our guest. Much appreciation. Thank you.
And Greg is great.
Hi, Greg.
Great guest tonight. Hi, Greg.
Mark and Mary, hi. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. All right. So tell us a little bit. I know that you're involved in Relic Films, but I'm sure that you've had some things going on before you started Relic Films. So how did you get into this? How did you get into Bigfoot?
Well, I've always kind of been interested in the paranormal. I had a UFO experience when I was a kid. So that kind of led, I guess, me being interested in the everything weird in my younger years, right?
Yes.
So I've always been like an outdoorsy kind of guy. So I did a lot of hunting and fishing in my younger years, and at some point I just really got tired of doing that. And then at that point I needed a distraction. I was so tired of hunting and fishing, so I was like, well, I like this paranormal stuff. I don't care about finding a UFO because I had a UFO experience already. But how about all this other stuff, right? So like In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy, they had Bigfoot episodes and Monster Quest and
Mhm.
all these other TV shows that I was interested in that. I really loved the mystery behind all of that. So I decided one day just to get up off the couch and join the Bigfoot world. I was like, hey, how hard can it be? I'm an engineer. How hard can it be, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that started my journey.
Yeah, now you mentioned that you had a UFO experience before that. So can you
Yeah,
tell us about
yeah.
that?
I was a wee little kid, wee little kid, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And my two older brothers and two older cousins and myself were walking on a road that goes down to my grandmother's. And it was dusky dark, wasn't quite dark yet. But all of a sudden, this big giant light just beamed down on us, just boom.
Hmm.
And it was extremely bright. It was so bright you couldn't see beyond the edge of the light. Um, I remember trying to look up at the light. Of course, it was way too bright. And then looking down at my hands and thinking, I can feel the light, which now I would liken it to static electricity.
Okay.
Is really what it felt like. Um, and then my next memory, after looking at my hand, is on my grandmother's porch. And I remember thinking, wow, and it was a covered porch, a little small country house. And I was like thinking, wow, how is the light coming through the roof, the ceiling of the covered porch? And then I like looked out toward the yard. It was probably just reflecting off the yard, maybe, I guess, I don't know. But anyway, I remember seeing the light lift up. It didn't like turn off. The light
Mhm.
lifted up. I never saw the craft. My oldest brother did. He said it was a giant triangle. He said it was enormous. Essentially covered up the entire sky and was very low, maybe two. He said it was probably 2 treetops high, so maybe 200 feet up off the ground.
Oh, wow.
Um, and then he said it did a little bit of zzz, and it was gone. Um, so I don't really recall how I got from the porch to my grandmother's porch. I mean, from the street to my grandmother's porch. That escapes me to this day. And not too long ago, at my aunt's funeral, um, I asked my two older brothers, like, do y'all remember how we got from the road to the porch? And lo and behold, they all have the same memory gap. And the same with the two older cousins. We all remember being in the road and we all remember being on the porch, but we don't necessarily remember how we got from the road to the porch.
Wow. And nobody was wearing a watch or anything that you were thought
Well,
of
I
looking
will say that it was dusky dark when it happened, right? I mean, it wasn't quite dark, but when it was all said and done with, it was completely black outside. It was really dark.
Oh, wow.
So I would say a good amount of time passed because
Yeah.
of the light differential.
Oh, my.
You didn't
That's,
meet a guy named Scotty while you were gone.
No, I didn't meet Scotty. He could have been he could have been up there. I don't know.
I thought maybe he beamed you up.
All right. I don't know what they did to us when they beamed us up, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing I've got a memory gap there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Well,
no, health ill effects or anything like that afterwards?
Not that I know of, but again, I was really, really small.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really know that was an after effect is I don't want to see them again.
Yeah. Well, that would kind of turn you off from it. And it's just the missing time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back then, I'd never heard of missing time, or I'd never heard of aliens. I was too small.
Yeah.
And so I really don't know what happened to us. If anything, I don't know. For all I know, we could have ran from the roadway to the porch, but uh, it sure took a long time for us to run from the roadway to the porch if it was completely black,
Yeah.
outside. So and it wasn't a very far stroll, but I do remember it being terrifying.
Yeah.
That's what I remember, and
Yeah.
that's why I don't necessarily go alien hunting.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you, not one single bit.
Well, there are researchers into the UFO phenomenon that will tell you how to determine if you have an implant. Some people have found out they have implanted devices and they don't know they have them. Like you, they might have had it when they were a little child and not known until they're much older. And only because I've heard stories that people found them because they went to have an MRI and they had a burning sensation somewhere in their body. And then when the doctor inspected that area, they would find this little metal device that the person didn't know anything about. But when you have an MRI, it'll cause that to heat up, and some of them have shown up on x-rays, but I know there are people out there that research that specific area of how people end up with these. They're very microscopic sometimes, like the size of the head of a pin. But I've seen pictures of them that have been removed, and they're definitely a small pinhead-like piece of metal that people don't know how they got in their body.
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't have anything in my body. I have a ton of MRIs. So I can't say that I've been marked, and thank goodness. So, but yeah, that happened to me, and that's one of the reasons what sort of got me interested. And I did see some footprints when I was about the same age, maybe a little bit older. My oldest brother and I, it was on a rare occasion where it snowed here in Alabama. And again, was at my grandmother's because we're very rural. She's very rural. Right after a snow, we found these footprints that came out of the woods, went up to my cousin's window, and then back off into the woods. And they were, I can't say that they were gigantic, but it was interesting that they were 3 toes. They had 3 toes on it.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, any idea of what that could be? Or I've heard about the different types of Bigfoot, but then 3 toes, that kind of says something else.
Well, it kind of screams reptilian.
Yeah.
Because number one, it wasn't necessarily very big. I mean, I can't say that it was like Bigfoot size, because it wasn't. It was probably the size of a human, maybe a little bit bigger, just a tad bigger. But the shape wasn't the size like a human's. It was had a very narrow heel, and it kind of splayed out going forward toward the toes. And when it got to the toes, the toes sort of, there was 2 right off the edges and 1 right there in the middle. So I don't know, and the toes were more pointed, or either pointed or had claws on the end.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what that would be. I mean, I didn't see it, but the footprints were fairly fresh because it was in snow and it was still snowing and they were there. So whatever made them actually probably could have been just lurking right inside the woods.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was a pervert, whatever it was. Looking at my cousin's window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, to me, creepier than a Bigfoot looking in your window. But
Yeah.
wow.
But yeah, when I started this, I thought I was going to solve this very quickly because, like everybody else in the world, my opinion was that Bigfoot was nothing more than some sort of ape that had not been categorized and was
Yeah.
just living out in the woods somewhere. And I was like, well, they're going to make a mistake. They always do. But the more I got into it, the more strange that I saw.
Yep.
And it was difficult to comprehend all of the strange, after you started seeing it because,
Yeah.
the strange is not supposed to exist because, you were told that it didn't, right?
Mhm.
So it took a while to be able to, I guess, come to terms with things that I kept seeing over and over and over again. And one of those things was orbs.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's heard of them, but there's these little balls of light that you'll see floating through the woods, and it's not with a camera flash or anything like that. I mean, you see them with your eyes.
Yeah.
You know, and they're intelligent or under intelligent control, but I've recently been leaning more toward they're intelligent themselves in the last year or so for a number of reasons, and I'll get to that later. But they seem to interact with us, and I couldn't explain what they were, and I thought I was just seeing things because what was so strange was that I could see them, but my camera guy could not. He's like, I was like, hey, look at those orbs right over there. And he's like, where? And I said, there, where? There. And he couldn't see them. Right? So, which that was really strange. He could see them like on camera. We've got them on camera, several times. But he could see them on camera, but he could never really see them with his eyes, which I thought was very strange, very strange. So we chose to not really address the strange too much in our first film. It's called Cryptic Expeditions, the Legend of the Downy Booger. And you can find it on Tubi and DirecTV and all these other streaming platforms. But anyway, right toward the end of that film, I thought we was going to just solve this Bigfoot problem in the very beginning. I thought it was going to be nothing.
Sure. Just like that.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
And my first outing didn't dissuade that opinion at all.
Oh.
My first outing and my cameraman's first outing together, we was out maybe an hour, way out deep in the woods in the Bankhead National Forest in Alabama.
Yep.
And within, I guess an hour, we came across this pond out in the woods, and this was in February, and it's really cold. And anybody who thinks Alabama don't get cold, well, you haven't been here in February. It gets cold. It was really cold. So these footprints came down from this little knoll down to the pond, went around the pond about a quarter of a way, and then back up and out into the woods again. And these footprints were 16 inches long and 7 inches wide and 5.5 feet in between. Okay. So I was like, man, there ain't nothing to this mystery. What's everybody's problem, right? They're everywhere. We're running out here everywhere. And about a quarter mile away, we found another trackway. It was almost identical in in size, except for the stride was instead of 5.5 feet apart, it was 8.5 to 9 feet apart. So, and it was out in the open field. So we figured instead of it walking, it was probably running at that time.
Okay.
You know, it was moving at a better clip, maybe because it was in a field. And we thought, you know, since the prints were identical, you know, maybe it was the same Bigfoot. But anyway, we thought like, wow, there's nothing to this, man. We're going to have this thing solved, lickety split. I said it's only a matter of time now before we capture it on film, and you know, 2 months tops, no problem. Well, I didn't know how rare that was. Very rare.
Well, one good thing is you are in a fantastic area, the Bankhead National Forest.
Mhm.
In fact, that entire section of Alabama is fantastic for boogers, no matter what.
Yeah.
It is. And
But
like I
here's the
say-
thing.
Hmm?
Here's the thing. They knew exactly what you thought you were going to do, and they were out there messing with you.
Oh, they messed with me. I'm here to tell you, they messed with me.
Okay.
Because, you know, we researched this area for quite a while. And, you know, I'm a traffic engineer. And one of the things I would do is go out and investigate very complex crashes and try to determine what caused the crash. What was the real cause of the crash, right?
Okay.
So a lot of times it's not so evident and not so obvious. So I took those same skills that I would use like any investigator would in a crime scene, and I brought them into Bigfooting. And one of those skills is like documenting with camera, right? So those footprints that we found, you know, we were documenting them, right? I mean, we just, hey, look, here's the footprints we found, and we showed where they came from and showed all the. I'm telling you, I was talking to engineers, and nobody's ever going to see that footage, ever.
Yeah.
Because I tell you something, my own camera presence was like a stick that could talk. It was dry and just horrible. So I said to my camera guy, I said, Brent, nobody's ever seen that. So I had to go back and look up YouTube and you know, essentially take some not necessarily acting lessons, but you know, some sort of on camera presence, right, to make
Yes.
things, you know, a little bit more entertaining and not so dry, like I'm talking to a bunch of engineers. Right? So,
Yes.
Well, Valium tends to help.
yeah. Well, you know, I'm not a big drinker. I've never done drugs or anything like that. So, but yes, for the viewer, Valium would help. It would help put them to sleep. And to this day, Bobby Dizzles, he keeps on saying that he watches the Downy Booger to be able to go to sleep because my voice puts him to sleep. I'm like, okay.
I enjoyed it.
But you know, one of the things that I started to suspect during the Downy Booger was that Bigfoots could see into the IR range, into the infrared range,
Yep.
because we would be having all of this activity around us, right?
Mhm.
And as soon as we'd flick on our night vision cameras, poof, they would disappear. It's just
Yep.
gone, right? And it took years to make the Downy Booger. I mean, it's like 3+ years, you know, because we don't fake anything. I wouldn't know how to fake anything, to be honest with you. So we were just genuinely trying to solve the mystery. Also ignoring some of the weird things. We were just trying to go straight Bigfoot. So right there toward the end, I was like getting very, very weary. I was like, "Hey, look, we got to do something. I see these orbs. Let's film these orbs. Let's get a real good high-end camera that doesn't emit any kind of light, no IR light or anything. It just almost sees in the dark. and let's get some of these orbs so we'll at least have something for the viewer to see. So we did that, and we went to our place over in Georgia where we actually ended up filming our last location at. And sure enough, right on cue, these orbs show up, and one stayed around with us all night. And, it would pulsate, get real bright at times, and kind of come close, and then move back away. Like it was interested. And we had some other activity where we saw something crawling down this hill at us on our thermal imaging. And I was just hitting record, right? Got it, gotcha. And it crawled down, got it to a log, sort of pushed up on this log and looked at us, and then it freaking disappeared. Just like Scotty beamed it up. Just gone from FLIR. I was like, how in the world does it do that? But, I was like, hey, I got it, because I was recording.
Yeah.
Well, anybody else who's done this for a while will know when you're actually Bigfooting or boogering and you're around them, you're going to have like these mysterious camera malfunctions, data wipes, battery drainage. You have all this stuff going on, right? Well, we was inexperienced and thought, well, we're just going to get this footage and carry it on back. Well, guess what was erased?
Yeah.
It was footage of the thing crawling down, pushing it up. I mean, we got a little bit of it, but the good stuff, the money shot, was erased.
Oh.
Son of a gun. So, but I was like, at least maybe we do have the orb that we were filming and was hanging out with us, and a good bit of that footage was also erased. But
Jeez.
what we didn't see with our eyes when we were filming this orb was this one particular time Brent clicked on the camera and was filming the orb. It was one of the last times that we were there. It was just a few seconds, and I will say that Janice, who was a woman that was in our group, Janice Nolan, she said that she saw something dark run down the trail. I didn't pay it any mind, I was like, I didn't see nothing, you crazy or something. Anyway, I didn't really pay it much attention. Bless her heart, she really did see something. We only found that out later. Post-production, when Brent clicked on that camera, now again, there's no IR or anything, it's just virtually seeing in the dark. So, colors are distorted, but the camera saw something. It's this thing crawling. It's on all fours between us and the orb. And it's like, oh my God, I'm on camera. I don't know what to do. And it starts panicking, right? So it starts to go back and forth. And while it starts to panic, the orb behind it starts to pulsate, right? It gets really bright, extremely bright. And the camera is focusing on this crawler, and then it gives up focus on the crawler and then moves to the orb in the background. And then the foreground becomes blurry, like Bigfoot always does.
Yeah.
And it, crawls off screen. So
Let me, could I butt in here for just a minute?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Well, I have some questions, but I also want the audience to know we probably didn't do a real good job introducing you. Greg is a filmmaker, and he makes films specifically concerning Bigfoot and maybe other things that he'll tell you about. But later on, we'll tell you where you can watch those. But I wanted the audience to know that Greg is a filmmaker. If you haven't already figured that out, you probably have. But if you have friends that are interested in this, now's the time to go get them and drag them in here, because he's got some really good information. And let's see, there was a question. Concerning that camera. Is that camera something that would be out of the price range of a normal person, or is that something that we could get to use for research?
At the time, it was probably a $3,500 camera. Now you can get the same camera for about $1,500.
So what's it called?
It's a Sony Alpha
Sony
Alpha 7.
Okay.
Sony Alpha
Okay.
7. So its ISO goes into the 400,000 range, and we had the ISO, and ISO is what essentially lets in the light,
Yeah.
the iris, right?
Right.
So it goes up into the 400,000 range, and we had that joker cranked up, right? So we didn't know what we were going to see. All I know, there was no moon, zero moon,
Yeah.
and we needed the camera to be able to see something, and it did a really fantastic job of seeing what our eyes could not.
Right.
So
Now, is
there
that
are-
when I looked up a Sony Alpha 7, it just shows like a regular camera, but yours did video, I assume. How do you?
well,
what do I
it
look
does
for?
video too. It's really used as more as a video camera than the still photography.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's I guess looks like one of the DSLRs that you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Now there has been an increase in technology now where I don't use that anymore. What I would use now would be a psionics, an Aurora psionics.
Oh,
So that if I had to recommend anything for a researcher, that's what I would recommend now. And they're less than $1,000 right now. But their technology is if you've got just a sliver of a moon, you will be able to see almost like it's daylight. Plus, their technology is everything's in color. So you have in color night vision. So
okay. Aurora, and what was the second word?
it's the psionics.
Is that SIN?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's SIONYX.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Psionics.
I'm sorry to butt in. I'm just really interested in this, so I'm putting
Mhm.
all these in my wish list as we're talking.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the good thing about the psionics is it's a full spectrum camera, and it can see into the infrared as well. So if you have an IR light, you can use it. However, I like to use it without the IR light because you'll be able to see the true color of things. When you have an IR light, it's going to break it.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So yeah, it's a
We have-
mono.
It's a mono, right?
Yeah.
However, it can Bluetooth to a camera so that you don't even have to look through the thing if you don't want to. It'll Bluetooth to a camera, and essentially you have a monitor.
Okay. Yeah,
or
I
you could
found it.
Bluetooth to a tablet if you wanted to, So,
All right. Well, thank you, and I'm sorry to interrupt. You
no
go on
worries.
with your stories. I apologize.
No worries. Yeah. Oh, no worries. But when it comes to the crawler, I was talking to this guy named Keith Bearden. He's an author, and he's
Yeah.
one of the guys he is the guy that put us on this location. And I didn't tell him about what we had discovered because our film wasn't out yet. It was just talking about you know generally the experience, and he told me that there was a younger Bigfoot there that kept getting caught because he would crawl up on people and they would turn around and see him and he'd scamper off, and he gets caught a lot. So I don't know if he's special. It, it would be my luck to get the retarded one on camera. The mentally challenged one, I would guess, is the best way to say it. But I think he was a bit of mentally challenged because he came very close. However, he was very stealthy because we never saw it. We never saw it, and I didn't hear it. Janice, however, I think she did see it when it got distressed because it was on camera and fled down the trail. So yeah, the downy booger, it really punches above its weight, and the quality of the film. Uh, I'm really proud of that first film because what I knew about filmmaking was this zero. I didn't know nothing about making a film, uh, and it was a huge learning curve. I'm telling you, huge, absolutely huge.
I
And
bet.
it's more than just going out there with the camera and just click. I'm recording. Here to do. Okay, well, there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it. I think
Yeah.
in making a real bona fide film, there's more. There's more to it. But I thought I was going to be going to be a one and done. However, all of the other strange things that we kept. This is another one of the strange things. This is weird, right? Oh, there was one time we was over in Georgia, right? And we were getting ready for camp. Like I was one of the first ones there, and I went over. Now I'd already set up my campsite, and I went to one of the bathhouses. Yeah, I was taking a shower and just getting ready for the night, right? Um, and while I was over at the bathhouse, Janice had showed up, and she was getting her things ready. Well, she heard in my voice from up under her truck while she was getting things up out of her truck and all that. She heard, "Hey, Janice," in my voice.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if your audience knows, but I'm a little bit of a trickster. My motto is, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So, I always like to, kid around a lot, not while the action is going, because I'm very, very serious when we're right out actually investigating. But away from camp, back in camp or whatever, I love to kid, joke around. So she thought it was me, and she was, rightly so, getting perturbed. And then she heard it again, but this time it grabbed her ankle. And she was really miffed.
Yeah.
When I came back, she was like, "What are you doing? Playing a trick? Dang, that was not funny." I'm like, "Dennis, I got no clue what you're talking about. Really, I have no clue." And, finally convinced her that, I was at the bathhouse when all that was going on. And, I thought, okay, Janice is just making things up. But later on during that night, I had to go back over to the bathroom and I unzipped my tent. And as soon as I tried to go step out, I heard, "Hey, Janice," in my voice. And I said out loud, "Nope." And I zipped my tent back up. And Brent my camera guy, just happened to be up at the same time. He said, "I heard that." So he and I both heard it. So that was,
Wow.
yeah, that was our first, I guess, an encounter with the disembodied voices. You can
Yeah.
hear your name and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, I've heard that they will imitate us, calls and so on.
mhm.
It's interesting. No, I know about them crawling up under your truck. One almost grabbed my ankle, and I said, no."
Really, but
Yeah.
yeah, that happened. And it happened again later. It's happened several times later on. It's just not stopped. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen occasionally. The using my voice. For whatever reason, they like to use my voice. I don't know why, but they do. But anyway, but seeing all the strange things led me to want to find out a little bit more about them. I was like, okay, I can't just leave it at just one film. I had a lot. It was a lot of work, but I had a lot of fun making the downy booger. So I met up with this guy named Trey Hudson. And
Oh,
Trey
yes.
Hudson.
Oh, I know Trey. Yep.
Yep, he's got this book out called The Meadow Project,
Mhm.
and he researches at this place called the Skinwalker Ranch of the South. It's called the Meadow. And his book describes a lot of the same things that we were seeing. So I really wanted to talk with Trey And after we started talking, and he saw my first film, he's like, "Hey, why don't you come out and kind of film us at our place?" So that is what led to the making of The Land Between the Lakes, which is my second film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Now, okay, well, and it starts out at the Meadow with Trey Hudson and his group. And we experienced a lot of things, and however, one of the challenges that we ran into there was camera malfunction, battery drainage. We had a lot of that,
Yeah.
a lot of it. As a matter of fact, it was debilitating. We had so much of it. We did end up with some good, useful footage and we actually caught a shadow figure on there. You have to look really, really close during the Estes method during the film, but you can actually see the shadow figure that's there. It's only like a frame or two before the cameras had malfunctioned again.
Yeah.
But anyway, during the making of that, I heard about the Land Between the Lakes and some people that I should interview there. And when we went to the Land Between the Lakes, all hell broke loose up there. That place is active, absolutely just
Oh, yeah.
chocked full of every kind of thing that you can imagine.
Believe me, I know. Yes.
Yes.
Fun place.
It is a fun place.
Yes.
I mean, our first night there, I saw a portal.
Cool.
I have a policy. I don't film on the first day of travel. So we were just out having fun, and we came across this area where there was some orbs, and there was a large group of us there.
Hmm.
But I saw a color of light that I hadn't seen before. It was kind of almost a yellowy amber looking color, but I couldn't see the source. So it started moving around like, anybody who's seen the orbs, you're like doing this, trying to get a better look at the orb through the trees and stuff, right? So I started doing all that, and I still couldn't see the source of it. So I started moving around a little bit, and then I finally saw the source. It was a portal. It was like this rectangular window, essentially. Had 90 degree angles on it, and I was awestruck. I didn't know what to think. I was like, now it was very, very cold where we were in the middle of the night, obviously, but wherever it was that I was looking through, it was daylight. It was daylight, lush, kind of like an area that had a lot of kudzu, sort of. Is that thick, That's what I would liken it to, but it wasn't kudzu, but it was just real thick with vegetation. And then somebody shined a flashlight down toward that way, and it poof, just evaporated.
Oh,
So this wasn't the one that a couple of guys went into.
No.
Oh, because I heard in the
that
meadows.
was at the meadow. That was at the
Yeah,
meadow.
right. Okay.
And unfortunately, they're no longer with us.
I know that.
Yeah. So
That's a whole nother story that I didn't know if
it
you
is.
knew about or.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that story. Very, very, very familiar with it, and I'm proud to have one of the last interviews that Mr. Bob Wilson, did in that film before he passed.
Yeah.
So I didn't think portals existed until I saw one. Much like I didn't think ghosts existed until I saw one. I didn't even know what an orb was. I've never heard of it until I saw one. I had to look up to see what they were, right? These glowing balls of light. I didn't know what they were, but I started seeing them a lot. So apparently I'm not the only one that sees them.
No, I've seen them.
Yeah. So You know, we're fortunate enough to have them on film, and I've got them in color now. At the LBL during that trip, we had a very good encounter with orbs. So they were green, and I took out the psionics camera. We took out the psionics and we started filming with it. And you know, you can actually see them in color. Chose not to put them in the LBL film
Yeah.
for various reasons. It just didn't, for, you know, just filmmaking reasons. Um, but we did put them in The Vanished, and you know, if which is a movie about missing people in the national forest, Smoky Mountain National Forest, to be honest, or to be
Okay.
specific. So if you're interested in seeing orbs and the color of orbs, go check out that film. But going
I have,
back to the WBL.
I have a quick question about orbs because a friend of mine saw one last night. Really
Mhm.
freaked her out. She said that the edges of it were like a she called it a periwinkle blue,
Mhm.
uh, which is
The
uh,
inside white.
yes, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I was wondering if you had heard of or had seen orbs similar to that.
Yeah, exactly like that. That's
Yeah,
actually the majority of what I see.
yeah,
You know, it's got like a blue hue on the outside of it, and you
yes,
look in the middle, it's like white. Yeah,
yes.
that's actually the majority of what I see.
Okay,
Hmm.
all right.
I would call them the most common ones.
Okay, yeah. The ones I've seen, they've been like a rainbow of colors, just
Hmm.
yellow and
Hmm.
purple and orange. But then some of them were like a rainbow.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't remember who told me, but somebody told me that the blue ones were the ones that were the like dangerous ones or something. I don't know. The
um,
solid blue, I thought.
hmm. You know, I've never really had a negative experience with an orb.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Um, you know, I've even had them. I've had them. I do know that they have a sense of humor. You know, they like to come in and buzz you like a bat or something
Uh-huh.
would. You know,
Okay,
yeah, I've had them come in and do that, and they'd be within arm's reach, and they'll startle you. You know, they startle you,
yeah,
but I think they're just playing. You know,
okay,
um, but you know, the ones that we filmed at the LVO, they were green.
yeah,
Um, and there was three of them at one point, but they were all green. Now I have seen the white ones there as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
I've seen the white ones. As a matter of fact, I saw the white ones during the making of the sequel to the LBL. Anyway, but the LBL film, it to me is the most important Bigfoot film out there, and this is why. We have a documented encounter with a Bigfoot as it happens. Um, and this is I'll tell the story. We were, of course, there filming, and I was getting all of our camera gear ready at the back of my truck, right? And I heard this growl. It's kind of a huffy, like, growl, kind of, I can't do it justice. I
Mhm.
don't have the lung capacity to do it justice. But I thought, yeah, okay, it's interesting. So I just kept doing it, and it did it again. And I turned around and said to the guy, "Hey, did y'all hear that?" And about the time it did it again, and when it did it that third time, our whole mind body just vibrated.
Yeah,
It like it's like you're standing in front of a giant speaker,
yeah,
and bass comes on, and you can just feel it. But what's weird is you can feel even your insides vibrating. I've never
yeah.
felt my insides vibrate
Yeah,
until that day, right?
that's probably because it had a certain amount of infrasound in it.
It could have. Now we did do some spectral analysis on it. We didn't find any.
Oh,
That's not to say that we didn't have the equipment to do it. I mean, it's not to say it wasn't there. Um, it's just that you know, because when it did that, you know, the brr, it was before we started recording, right? And although there were growls afterwards, they were less intense and um, uh, they didn't quite shake your insides like the one particular one did, right?
Yeah.
And but it terrified my camera guy. He went into a terror attack, not a panic attack, a terror attack now, where he was like, "Oh my God, they're here, we got to get out of here."
Wow.
I'm like, "Dude, that's why we're here." He calm down. He's like,
Yeah.
no, we gotta get out of here, we gotta go. I'm like, and I literally had to grab him by the back of the coat
Wow.
Yeah.
because he was ready to flee, you know, just
Yep.
run. I don't know where he was going to run. It was in the middle of the woods, but to keep him from like, you know, being the one that gets tracked down and I have to go, you know, talk to his family. No. I kept, you know, grabbed him by the back of the coat. And then I realized, oh, I've got to get this on camera. So I grabbed the first camera that I could get. So a short range night vision camera just meant for filming subjects. But I didn't know it. I mean, because it's dark. I mean, it's pitch black. But while I'm fiddling, trying to get the camera on, I look up and I see it. It's a Bigfoot. It's standing literally in front of the truck, and I can see the silhouette of it, like from the bust up. And it's huge, though. I mean, oh, it's huge. Maybe 3.5, 4 foot wide, about in the 9 foot range. You know, maybe a hair taller than 9 foot. Um, and it's just standing there watching us, and it's not intimidated. It doesn't. It's like I'm the biggest thing out here, right?
Mhm.
And I'm stunned. What seemed like an eternity, in reality, is probably 1 or 2 seconds. You know, I was like, and then I heard the camera kind of wind up. I knew the camera was on. So I looked down real quick to make sure that I hit the night vision and the record button. And as soon as I hit that night vision, I was I looked back up and I could kind of see it moving away, right? And I put it up real quick, and I think I got it. I know I got its eyes, but you couldn't see anything else of it other than just its eyes.
Yeah.
And then it moves away, and like Adam Davis is in this film, right? And he's
Oh, okay.
so he's like, he has Brent at this time, like he literally has him. So he's like trying to he doesn't know that I see the Bigfoot at this time, and I'm trying to get it on camera. So he's like insistent that I pull the camera over there toward Brent, like, and he's literally shaking. And it's not fake. He's shaking, you know, because he's terrified.
Oh,
But I mean, to his defense, I understand why. Because,
yeah.
I mean, if you've never experienced that, um, you just don't understand. You
Yeah.
don't understand the feeling of
Yeah.
having your entire body vibrate.
Yeah.
Um, but to Brent's credit, he did calm down and start filming.
Oh,
Bigfoot's still around. He's still growling at us.
yep.
So Adam's military, he was in the British military, for those that don't know. His military training kicks in. He's like, okay, let's bunch together and let's push this thing away from us. Um, you know, let's intimidate it, right? So, you know, we bunch together and we move forward. And every time we take a step forward, it growls. So
Mhm.
it's like this tug of war, right? And you know, cameras are rolling all this time. We got all this on film now. So we take a step forward and it growls and we come back. It's like this whole tug of war is going on, and we're trying to get the other group that's with us to come down and coalesce with us so that we seem bigger, right?
Yeah.
But they don't know. I mean, they were dealing with one themselves, and we didn't know that, and they didn't know that we were dealing with one. Well, so eventually it does go back off into the woods, and its eyes starts glowing. It starts glowing red. We got
Yeah.
that film too. And then another one starts throwing rocks at us. from our left, and I say to Adam, I say, "Hey, we got another one that's threw rocks at us from our left," and he whips around. His eyes get huge. And he says, "Oh my God, they're flanking us!" Right? And he used the military term, not our colloquial term.
Yeah.
So he's been in firefights and everything, that's associated with the military, and he thought at that time that we were not going to make it. So
This Adam Davies?
yes, it is.
Yeah, he's on with us in I think the 26th of August.
Is it? Oh, okay, good. That's good.
Yeah, you'll have to get Adam to tell his side of the story on that because it's extremely interesting.
Okay.
We have Adam Davies is in a lot of our films now. We sort of developed a good friendship from the LBL, and he likes our filming style and just generally the way I do things, because I'm not your typical filmmaker. Typical filmmakers have a schedule that they got to keep, right? Because they got to get a product out. I'm not that way, so I'm a little easier to film with.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, believe me, I know. I've been in that situation before where they've come up behind us and thrown rocks at us and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
1 second, I've got to plug in my.
I don't mind when they throw rocks at me. It's when they throw them at my camper and try to break my windows, I get upset.
Yeah. Yeah, or whenever they rock your trailer, pushing it.
Well, even the rock on the trailer doesn't bother me. It's when they try to do damage that bothers me.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
they play a lot. They
Yeah.
do play a lot.
They do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun scaring the funny humans and making them make funny noises. Yeah. The hairless bipeds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, now, who's hairless? I got hair here.
Yeah. But, we have a lot of fun during making it. But I will say, though, that encounter is real. It lasts 20, 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not all of that is on film because, we had to cut some of it out for FCC stuffs. The language.
Yeah.
Because some of it got actually quite intense. I would say quite intense.
Well, yes. brown shorts intense.
It did, really, it did.
Yeah. No,
but I don't know of another. I don't know of another show that's ever had a Bigfoot encounter as it happens on camera.
Yeah.
There's lots of video. There's that Patty film and all these other films that's out there that's brief. Well, ours is not brief. It's extended. It's an extended encounter. And as a matter of fact, it lasted longer than our batteries in our cameras because about 20, 25 minutes, but our cameras should have lasted for hours.
Yeah.
Hours.
Yeah.
They lasted about 20, 25 minutes each. And then both of them died at the same time or relatively the same time. And then we're like, well, we don't have anything to film with. We're done as far as filming because, we didn't have the batteries anymore. And at some point, I was like, okay, I wonder if it's still around. I was just curious. And I took my phone, going to see if I could find some footprints in front of the truck, but I couldn't find any there.
Yeah.
Because it's a real rocky road, lots of gravel.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder if it's still around. So I go, and I growl real loud. just, real challenging growl, right? And almost immediately you heard boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was stomped in response. I mean,
Yeah.
you could hear a stomp. And I was like, wow, okay, he's still around. And it was fairly close, I would say maybe 20 yards away, which is fairly close. And
Yes.
Brent was bebopping up, up to the front of the truck. And, right as that happened, he says, hey, did you hear that? It responded to you. I was like, I'm going to do it again. So I do it again. And it does it. I mean, it responds again almost immediately. Boom, boom, boom. But this time, instead of being like 20 something yards away, it was right at the edge of the road. And he turned around, he looked at me, he said, stop doing that shit. We weren't armed, right? We weren't armed or anything. I'm like, oh, okay, Brent, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, if it wanted you, it would have had you. It's just trying to scare you.
It was. I agree with you. In retrospect, for the intelligent, if you were getting what they were saying, when that one threw that rock at us, what I think it was saying was, checkmate. Gotcha. If we want you.
Yeah.
I think that's what they say.
Oh yeah. If they want you, they would have you. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It's been my experience that whenever these encounters get intense, what they're trying to do is establish dominance. And once they establish dominance, they kind of back off a little bit. They let you know that they're the biggest, baddest things there.
Yeah.
And they'll make no bones about it.
Yep.
They won't. Now, one of the other things I had at the exact same location. Now, a year later, I went back, a year and a half later, went back to the exact same location, and I'm filming the sequel to this, right? It's called the Land Between the Lakes Making Contact. So we wanted to make contact with these things, whatever was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a group of women out there, and I'm filming this group of women. And we go out and they're very aggressive. And Natalie Smearman, who is who's with Relic Films now.
She's going to be on with us in a couple of weeks too.
Oh, well, nice. Get her to tell this story too, because she can give you a very good eyewitness of this. She'll tell you the front end of it. I see this. She sees like a portal open up. And these three things crawl out of it. And I call them things. They wasn't Bigfoot. They were things.
Okay.
Not things that, are good. They're things that's just nasty. Anyway, while we're filming all this, I'm looking into my display screen. I'm not, my night vision is just clogged. I don't have any. Because I'm looking into a display screen in the middle of the night, right? Okay, so when I look away, I can't see much.
Yeah.
But there was one time I just happened to look over my right shoulder. One of those things was charging us, and it was very close. It was a rake. It had these little tiny spindly arms with oversized hands. I mean, just kind of doing this gallop like at us, right? And I carry a little pew pew on me, little emotional support pew pew right here.
Yeah.
And Natalie sees it as well, and she comes up and hits it with bear spray. And she does save it from having 17 10 millimeter size holes in it. I will say that. But it does repel the rake. And I'm telling you, those things are nasty. They're very, very nasty. I don't want to see another one.
Yeah.
It was just very unnatural looking. But it was at the same place where we had this Bigfoot encounter. But I'll save that story and let Natalie tell you that. Yeah, I won't give it away. But, she sees a lot of the front end stuff. And my experience with that was on the camera side. So I didn't see everything that she saw because I'm looking into the camera display. And I'm filming the girls and they're out, seeing everything that's going on.
So what do you think? You say these things came through a portal.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that portal is interdimensional, or what do you think is on the other side? I mean, what are they coming from?
I don't know what they're coming from. I do know the portal that I saw looked a lot like Earth. It could have been on the other side of Earth for all I know. I mean, I don't know where it went to, but I do know that you could see the other side of it. Adam Davies has seen one where he could also see the other side, and he saw these two small entities short, stocky entities that came out of that portal. And it's a very interesting story. Very interesting. Um, so I don't know um, where they're coming from, or when they're coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
That could be the other possibility. When are they coming from?
Yeah.
So you know, there's a couple of possibilities there.
Yeah.
You know, where and when, or what dimension. You know, it could be like in a different dimension than what we're at. So I guess there's three possibilities.
Sure.
Um, I think much of what we're seeing out in the woods is interdimensional. They have an ability to transform themselves into like an energy form, right? To be able to traverse the portals. And I really do think that's what the plasmoids are, or some of the plasmoids are. You know, some of the orbs.
Okay.
I think that you know they're beings in another dimension, and they come through the portals in that energy form. Why do I think they come through in energy form? Because it's dangerous. I think portals are dangerous to organics.
Okay.
Like what happened
So,
to Mr. Wilson. So,
right. So we had a question about which of your movies was where all of this happened. It was in the Land Between the Lake video.
yes. Yes.
And where can that be found?
Cryptic Expeditions, The Land Between the Lakes. It can be found on Relic TV now. If you have a Roku or a Fire Stick, you can download our app. It's called Relic TV. All of our movies are on there. And you can find it there. So they are there for rent or purchase, and you can find that one there, as well as The Vanished. You'll be able to find The Vanished there. But yeah, we're excited about our new app, Relic TV. It was an undertaking to do, but you know, we're really excited about it, and it gives our viewers a chance to be able to see our films without having to wait on the distribution companies, and that's been so frustrating. So, but yeah, if for those that don't know, Relic TV.
But the ones that are on Relic Films is the same thing, right?
Yeah, Relic Films is our company, right?
Okay.
And Relic TV is a subset of Relic Films. So Relic Films owns Relic TV. And Relic TV is just the place where Relic shows all of our films. And it's not just our films. There's other people's films, along with podcasts and soon to be short films, and eventually in the future, maybe even some narratives.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, Relic TV is it's you know it's our little baby, and I'm really proud of that little baby. Just because I really I actually enjoy our films. You know, I don't make something that I wouldn't watch. You know, I guess it's one of the reasons why it takes so long for us to make some of those films.
Now, is yours Relic Films Media?
Well, it's Relic Films Media.
Okay.
the media of Relic Films. Relic Films apostrophe S is what it's supposed to be, or Relic Films apostrophe media. That's what it's supposed
Oh,
to be. So
okay.
it's the essentially the films or media that belongs to Relic Films.
Gotcha.
And somewhere along the way, the apostrophe got cut off, and it says Relic Films Media, but it's really Relic Films Media.
I got you. Okay. I just wanted the audience to, because I was looking here, and when I actually went to relicfilms.com, it didn't appear to be your site.
Well, there's another group, another company that's came after me that I think their official name is Relic, but then they put relicfilms.com. And I'm going to have to send them a cease and desist letter, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's what it is. And I see
yeah,
Melissa Adair is with your group too.
she is. She is.
I know
And,
Melissa, but she has not agreed to come on our podcast yet, even though I've invited her. So I'm going to have to.
well, you have to twist Melissa's arm sometime.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Yeah, just keep saying every day, hey, Melissa, come on. Hey, Melissa, come on. And she'll give it.
I'll tell her you said to do that.
Please do. Please do. That'll be another reason she'll have to shank me.
Oh, okay. I won't get you in trouble.
No, it's fine. Just she'll come on. You just have to get her at a good time. She'll come on.
Good. That's
But,
good.
but yeah, we have a wonderful group now. Unfortunately, the experience at the LBL, my camera guy Brent, he decided not to pursue that anymore because it got very real.
Yeah.
And he had some other things happen too, Um, so it got essentially a little too real for him at home. So he took a break from it, and I was sort of forced to go find some more help, essentially. And then I came across it, Adam. Adam loved the way I did my work, and The Land Between the Lakes is a fabulous film. Absolutely fabulous film.
And have to watch it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And when you watch it, if you have a lot of bass, something with a lot of bass,
Yeah.
I do recommend that because you actually get to hear them growl, and
Okay.
we capture their growls, and we the whole encounter is on film. So
I'll put on the Bose sound system whenever I put it on.
if you've got one, highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Yeah.
Because when we debuted it at the theater, there was one particular growl specifically that made the entire audience go, they all gasped at the same time. So
Yeah.
even in the theater, it triggered their fight or flight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
the
Whenever.
Vanished,
Oh, go ahead.
The Vanished is our third film, and it's about missing people in the national forest. We focused in on Dennis Martin and Mike Heron.
Yeah. See, I'm also just a few miles from there.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, you'll be happy to note that there are feral people around your pair.
Oh, yeah. We know that. Yeah. Yes, there are.
Yep. But during the making of that is when we started to take notice of these plasmoids, and that's essentially what we call the plasma entities, or plasmoids.
Yeah.
We filmed one that was a little different than, not a little, it was a lot different than the orbs we see. If you, it was luminescent, right? But it didn't have a form. Like the blue-white orbs that we're talking about earlier, they're spherical, right? They have a shape to them. Where these glowing entities that we saw was amorphic. It was kind of blobby like, and we captured one on film. And it's really, as soon as the camera guy sees it, it bolts away. And we think that there's a reason for that. Um, but we wanted to know a little bit more about what we were seeing. So what we did was we consulted like a folklorist, or it was
Mhm.
consulted to folklorist actually. And sure enough, there's this Cherokee legend called the legend of the Raven Mocker, and
Yeah.
it fit almost exactly what we saw. I mean, almost exactly. It, and essentially, what this Raven Mocker is an energy vampire. Kind of zaps your energy, and it kind of hunts
Okay.
uh, uh, a specific person, right? It'll hunt that specific person. But if that person sees them, they flee for whatever. So we think that they are so focused in on their target that they lose sight of everything else around them, because we saw this thing for, maybe a minute or so before our camera guy got there. We were watching it. But prior to us starting up the cameras, uh, Jim Powell, he was a camera guy then. He's also associated with Relic Films. Jim got sick, and he had this instinct to lay down, sort of grounding himself, in other words. Um, so we think that this Raven Mocker was perhaps targeting Jim and hunting him. So
Okay.
we think that there's something to some of these old legends, particularly these old Indian legends that
Oh yeah.
they got they got some legs to them.
Oh
They
yeah.
come from somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I also live just a few miles from the Cherokee Indian Reservation, and they're very serious about this stuff. And a
Hmm.
lot of them won't talk because they think if they talk about it, it actually conjures that spirit up.
Yes,
So
that's
a few
exactly
of them
what.
will, but yeah,
Yeah. Well, there's a Cherokee name for it, and our folklore said it once, and he said he won't say it again because of the exact same reason that you just brought up. He
Right.
says
right,
when you say their name, it kind of brings them to you,
right,
and you know that they're not to be trifled with.
right.
And from what I saw, I would have to agree. They're not to be trifled
Yeah.
with.
Spearfinger, same way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we think they could be a shapeshifter um, that maybe the legend of the Spearfinger and some of these other legends are essentially the same entity
Yeah,
because it has the ability to shapeshift. Perhaps,
could be.
perhaps I don't want to get too far fetched out there, but
Yeah.
as if energy vampires aren't far fetched enough, but apparently they're real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's to say that
Well, and that may
shapeshifters aren't
be,
real?
the Spearfinger legend has her, which appears in the form sort of a witch, but has a finger with a spear on it, and they
Right.
stick that into you and
Hmm.
basically kill you. But maybe they do that by sucking the energy out of you. I don't know.
Hmm. So, yeah, yeah.
Now
You know,
we had a guest on a few weeks ago. Mary knew him, and he talked about that Bigfoot actually uh, will suck energy, and that's what causes batteries to go dead. But that they're also seen around power lines a lot and things like that.
Well, that in the AM radio stations,
Right. Yeah.
the the antennas and so on, which
Right.
promote a lot of EMF, that they hang around those quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we do have proof of now.
Yeah.
When we were at the LBL in November, this past November. Well, yeah, this past November. Um, there was one particular time where I got extremely sick during a filming event. And it was so much so that Adam Davis and other members of our crew had to literally assist me to get back to our vehicle. At the exact same time that I got sick, there was another member of the NCI crew, the North Carolina Investigates, had a piece of equipment go off that, we were very close in proximity, right? That equipment pegged into the danger range of the EMF field, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it pegged into the dangerous range. And he says, all the years he's had that equipment, that's the only time it's ever done that. And it happened to do it at the exact same time that I got extremely sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we knew that there was a Bigfoot around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd been hearing it, and it'd been playing with us and toying with us, and we knew one was very close.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we've come up with this new theory that somehow they can manipulate the EM fields.
Yeah.
And that also would account for the battery drainage,
Yeah.
data corruption,
Right.
you getting sick because, extreme EM fields will cause very similar symptoms as infrasound will.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yeah. Infrasound will also drain batteries and damage electronics also. So between the both of them, you're screwed.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but
Yeah, we've got a question here from the Macalorian. If I start talking about Bigfoot, do you think it might summon them if I'm in a boogery area? I don't think so.
I don't know. However, I do think that they essentially can read your mind by knowing your intentions. I think they can read your frequency. I do
Yeah.
know that's how other entities talk with each other is through frequency. I think they can read your frequency, and it's impossible to hide that frequency,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So if you have bad intentions, it's your body, your brain, and all is giving out those brain waves, essentially, right?
Right.
And it's just a frequency, and I think they can detect that, and that's how they read your mind, essentially, and maybe that's how they communicate with mind speak. Yeah, I think it's a form of telepathy.
Yeah.
So I think if I think they have to want to communicate with you
Yeah.
before so that particular question, I don't think you don't just summon a Bigfoot, right?
Right.
I think they just come to you if they want to interact with you.
Hmm.
So I don't
Yeah.
think that directly answered the question, but that's the best way I can answer it.
No, that's good. That's very good.
So my take on that would be if you're, and this is if you're in an area where there are Cherokee, where I'm at, you would use the Cherokee word, which I believe is pronounced Sul Kalu, which I just put in chat. And that if you were going to get a response, that's the name that you would get a response to. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
And if you're up in the Allegheny, then you would use the Seneca word, which I don't remember offhand, but
Yeah.
you'd use I think the Native American names are the ones they tend to respond to if you're out in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah. That the local language, the local native language, they'll use it along with English words.
Yeah. Which also lends to the fact that they can talk.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I've heard them speak, verbally. I've never had mine speak, but I have heard them speak verbally. And, to me, it's very low, grumbly. It's a language, but I
Yeah.
can't quite understand what they're saying, you know. It's kind of
Yep.
like that to me.
Yep.
You know?
The samurai chatter. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they can speak. Do they understand? I'm sure that they don't necessarily understand English, but they can probably read your mind as you're talking, right? Almost like a universal translator of Star Trek.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
whatever language you're talking, I'm sure that they understand you.
Yeah. Macalorian. I highly suggest no. Absolutely stay away from the shofar. You will not like the response that you get. Believe me, I have been there. Whenever it's been used multiple times, you will not like the response.
Yeah.
Of who?
It's the shofar. Are you familiar with that?
I am not.
Oh, well, get one and blow it on. Have your cameras going.
No. I highly suggest no. No.
Oh, I can get me a chauffeur. I would love to have
A chauffeur, yes. A chauffeur.
Well, a shofar is a Middle Eastern horn that, if blown correctly, will definitely call them in.
But again, you will not like the response that you get.
What is it? A mating call?
I'm sorry. I'm not going to get into what it does. Believe me.
I'm teasing.
We think that it's probably a call to arms, so to speak, that it arouses a response in them that makes them want to fight.
Yeah. Oh,
well, I don't want to do that. Haven't been very close to one.
Yeah.
You know, Martin Groves was there that day.
Yeah.
Well, Martin Groves, interestingly enough, was just on Facebook today with a shofar.
Was he?
Yes.
Okay.
Martin, blow your shofar one day.
Yep.
From a distance.
Yeah.
Long as
so
at a distance.
Here's how you do it. You set up all your filming equipment. You turn it all on. And you put Martin there and you say, Martin, in 30 minutes, I want you to blow that shofar.
And you
leave. And then you leave.
30 miles away.
Okay. Yeah, I love Martin. He's he is a fantastic person, and
yeah, he is.
He's had some incredible encounters, and just a wonderful human being all around.
He is. Yeah, I've met him at one of the meet and greets down in LBL. Mm-hmm. Really nice guy. He's such a gentleman, and I really want to get him on here. Just
I've invited.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's in chat, so he's listening
tonight.
But he's in there.
Is he?
I didn't know that.
Hey, Martin.
Martin's in there.
Well, Martin, if you're out there, I asked you to be on. We still want you on, so just get back to me.
Yeah.
But interestingly
we're scheduled out into October at least now, but we'll get you on.
Wow. Excellent. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So when we were at the Gatlinburg conference last weekend, I went out boogering both nights. Both nights I was there.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, and
yes,
Friday night we had excellent response there. I did a few whoop calls, which I don't do very often at all.
Yeah,
very rarely. But we did have responses to them almost every time that I whooped. And there was this orb. Okay, this freaked me out, right? Okay, we saw this orb come in, and it kind of looked like a flashlight. There's other people saying, "Oh, that's a flashlight," and I'm like, "That's not a flashlight. I can see it through my Psionics camera. It's not a flashlight." So I saw this orb, and it came down from a hollow on one side of the little trail we was on, came up, and then kind of went up the mountain, and circled over toward us, and then came back down almost within 20, 30 feet of us. It was the orb would come on and off, during its, little journey. But I'm like, I see you. I can see you the whole time. I can see you. But he was sneaking around, but he wasn't too stealthy. I saw it. But there was one point in particular that got real close to us, and this was after I'd done a couple of whoops and had some response. And when it was real close to us this one time, it was a giant tree just got pushed over right near. Well, I guess pushed over. We heard a crack first, and
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
then this huge tree just fell in the forest. There was no wind or anything at the time, nothing. I know trees fall all the time, but it seems that they seem to fall an inordinate amount of time when you're out boogering. So
Yes.
I've had that to happen a bunch of times.
Yes.
And it's always when there's a booger around. Always. So we
Hmm.
think it's like, okay, it's time to go. You
Yes.
know, they're displaying that little bit of, I'm a macho man, I'm the
Yep.
biggest thing in the woods, which they are.
Yeah.
So we left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
There was one night uh, they were pissed because we were not leaving, and that they pushed down 3 trees, and it was like, hey, I'm sorry, we were here first. You got to wait. They wanted to hunt, and
Mhm.
I understand they got to feed themselves and their families, but
Mhm.
we were there. We weren't going to be there all night, but
Yeah, speaking of the rock throwing and stuff like that now,
yeah,
I play a little game with them. I'll do one of two things. I'll first ignore them, right? Because
yeah,
as soon as you acknowledge them, they're going to stop.
oh, yeah,
That's been my experience. I'm not saying they do it all the time. That's been my experience. So I ignore them until they get all impatient and stuff. It's like they'll first start off with these little bitty things and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still ignoring you, right? And eventually I'll pick something up and throw it right back real quickly, right back where they are. And then it's like anything you can do, I can do better, right? So
yeah,
their stuff keeps getting bigger.
oh yeah,
And eventually it gets too big where I don't want to play no more.
Yeah. Well, I've actually heard of people throwing stuff back at them, and then because they never hit you normally.
No. They're not trying
But
to hit you. Yeah.
no,
but I've heard that sometimes if you throw stuff back at them, that then they'll throw it back and it will hit you. So I don't
Oh,
know.
well. I haven't had that happen yet, but I have had them greatly increase the size of the objects
Uh,
being
yeah,
thrown.
yeah,
right. Yep, I heard about
But
that
it's a
once. A
game.
guy was something. It was across a river. This river was like pretty good sized. Maybe
Hmm.
150, 200 feet across. And they were throwing stuff from across the river. And so one came over and about the size of a walnut. He thought, well, I can throw that far. So he picks it up and flings it back to the other side of the river. And the next one
Hmm.
that came over was like the size of a bowling ball.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's what
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
That's what happens. Yeah. Yeah, they're like, okay, you watch this. Throw
yeah,
yeah,
this
yeah,
back.
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
so
give us one last good story here. We're down to 9:20 about, so
oh
we
wow,
got a few
okay.
minutes, but pick a really good one, and then we'll maybe have you back on sometime if you're willing.
yeah. I'd love to have
Oh
you back.
yeah. I told you I got tons of stories. Okay, this last one was it wasn't during a filming event. It was during an expedition, and it was ironically one of the expeditions where I heard my voice used again with this guy named Paul Halsey, the late Paul Halsey. Anyway,
Oh,
long story
yeah,
short, we were going out. We're going to go orb hunting again because we had seen orbs, and we are going back to the same location. And because we were at Fort Mountain State Park in North Georgia, near Chatsworth, Georgia, and that area is loaded in bears, loaded with bears. So we were traveling
heavens.
with our FLIR, and this young lady named Angela was she was in controlling the FLIR, and we came across this over this small little hill on the trail, and toward the bottom of the little gully there was there was this hot target, right? I thought it was a boulder at first. And I'm like, it's just a boulder. And they were like, no, let's stop. It could be a bear, right? And I'm like, okay, it's just a boulder. It's just a rock, because rocks tend to give off heat, as the night goes on, right? So we're sitting there, and about a minute and a half, 2 minutes goes by, and the what I thought was a rock starts doing this, starts swaying back and forth a little bit, and like, ooh, rocks don't rock. So, and then all of our interest is piqued, right? So we know this is something. We still don't know what. Could been still a bear. And then when it starts rocking, these objects was thrown from another direction. And at the time, I was experienced enough to know that's a distraction. It's a complete distraction, right? They want you to look away. So we kept ignoring the things, and they being thrown. They kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually the thing on the ground stood up. And when it stood up, you could see its face, its long arms. You could see everything. You could see its mouth through thermal, right? And it's immediately when it stood up, this huge, I don't know if it was a log or giant rock or whatever it was huge, came crashing down, not exactly at us, but very near us, and enough to where it scared Angela, and she had her FLIR looking at it like this, and then turned and looked to make sure it wasn't a charging bear, and then turned right back, and it was gone. That fast. Gone.
Wow.
So, Bigfoots move unnaturally fast.
Oh yeah.
Unnaturally fast.
Mary's one of the few people that have actually had the opportunity to time one and clock its speed.
Yeah, in a full out run. Yeah.
And what'd you get? 52 miles an hour?
Yeah, 52 miles an hour.
Wow.
And
See?
and you don't know for sure that was as fast as it could go.
Not really. That was an estimate between myself and the other gentleman. We estimate that it took 3 seconds to run from point A to point B, and then measuring the distance, the exact distance from point A to point B. So we were able to figure out an estimate speed of 52 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And
like I said, they are unnaturally fast.
Oh yeah, crazy fast.
Okay, so Greg, is there anything else that you want to let the audience know as far as how to get to your videos, how to contact you if you want them to be able to? Any of that?
Well, yeah, you can go on to our YouTube page. It's Relic Films Media on YouTube, and there we have this little talk show called Beyond the Ordinary. And we talk with very interesting people in the paranormal world with all sorts of stories. And it's entertaining, and we put some very interesting B-roll in there as people are talking. So sometimes it's humorous, sometimes it's serious. So you can check out Beyond the Ordinary. And also we have our clips there where you can check out trailers to all of our films, and you can see what's coming up next. The same thing on Facebook, Relic Films Media. And we have actually more presence on Relic Films Media there. But if you really want to check out some of our films, check out Relic TV on Roku and Fire Stick. Just download that app and sign up and then log in and then pick out the video that you want to watch.
Yeah.
We've got some great videos. I would really appreciate it if some of your audience could go in and watch some of our very hard work. It really does help us to make more films in the future, and we are excited to do so. We have several more films on the drawing board. We have one coming out in September. It's called Awakened, Measured Out, and it's a ghosty film, and it follows Melissa Adair on her journey from being a complete skeptic about the paranormal world into, yeah, I'm more of a believer. So
Yeah.
check that one out the last weekend of September.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Hey, Melissa does one of the very best Bigfoot screams you'll ever hear.
Yes, I know.
Oh, you knew that? Okay. I
Totally.
was going to say,
I
if you
know.
hadn't heard it, you need to get her to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
she's been out with us.
she did one night in Florida when we were on an outing, and we heard the first scream. We didn't know it was her, but then we heard three more that sounded just exactly like it. So we get back to camp, and she come rolling in, and somebody said something about her doing a scream, and she said, yeah. And then we said, oh, yeah, we heard all four of them you did. She said, no, I only did the first one. The other three came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
That was in Apalachicola National Forest.
Ooh.
That's a really good area down there.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a Portals film that's going to involve Florida. So
Okay.
Yes.
Well, another area that orbs are really good are over in Tellico State Park in Tennessee, which isn't far from the Smoky Mountain National Park. But if you look it up, you'll find it if you don't already know where it's at.
I have heard about Tellico, and it's we are so busy with
I know. Yeah.
with films and films on the drawing board, and since I do everything in house, all the editing, all the music, and everything.
Oh, God bless you.
It keeps me quite busy.
Well, it's great because you're one of the only ones that are doing really what I call high quality Bigfoot films / research. So I appreciate it. And I was so happy when you agreed to be on, and frankly somewhat surprised, because I kind of figured you were too busy to do stuff like this, but hopefully we'll be able to help you get the word out about your channels and such, and it'll be worth your while.
Well, actually, I really do enjoy doing these. I am quite busy a lot. And I pop into some of my friends' podcasts from time to time, but I don't get to stay for the whole podcast most of the time because I'm always so busy.
Right.
Editing takes, I'll put it this way, there's probably 1,500 hours of man hours in just the editing.
Yeah.
Not counting the music design, the color correction, and everything else that goes into the films.
Yeah. Wow.
So, it's an undertaking that takes up a lot of time, but I actually enjoy doing things like this, and I don't, whether it's a big channel, small channel, whatever, I like coming on and talking about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Well, we're so glad that you did come on ours, and we do appreciate it very much.
Very
Well,
much.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
And I don't know if Mary had anything, but I usually go through our upcoming guests. So if you want to stay and hear who's coming up, you're welcome.
Oh, I have 2 mentions that I had promised that I would make, so I want to throw those in. Knights of the Fire podcast. I told them that I would mention their podcast there on YouTube. They recently did a video on Westmoreland County, the Chestnut Ridge, the infamous Chestnut Ridge area of Pennsylvania, and Joyce from Newcastle, and I don't want to go into more detail as to hers, but special shout out to Joyce.
Okay. Now, does she have a podcast, or that you're not saying?
No,
Okay.
no podcast.
Okay.
Just a very nice person.
Okay. Well, that's
And,
great.
if it's not too late, add one of my cousins onto there. Yesterday, one of my cousins was tragically killed in a car wreck, and
Oh.
please pray for their family.
Will do.
Will do.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's sorry to hear that. All right, Mary, you want me to hit the upcoming shows, or you
Yes,
got
please.
So
Nope.
next week we have Marie Dumont, who is the lead for the Florida Bigfoot group. I can't think of the name exactly, but I know who it is. I think I know who it is, but I don't have who is on the 12th of August in my calendar. I should have.
Yeah, let me
The
see.
19th is Natalie Smearman. The 26th is Adam Davies. And then September 2nd is our own Gary Spikes. From the, he's a moderator. Hops. Let's see. What do I got here?
Stan Gordon.
Well, I've got him on September 9th, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then the 16th is Mike Lucci. He's out of New York. 23rd of September is Carter Bouchard. Let's see, the 30th of September is Chris Noel.
Yeah.
Let's see, September. Let's see, October 7th. Cindy Bueno Goodbreak.
Yes.
And the 14th is Daniel Hageman.
Yep.
And that's the end of what I have on my calendar. But it was August 12th. If you have it, Mary, I don't have who's on August 12th.
Yeah, that is Dr. Dennis Carroll.
Ah, yes. Okay. Dennis Carroll. Gotcha.
Yes.
Do you know him, Greg?
I do not.
He's on with. I'm blanking on her name now. Cryptid Hunters. We talked about her earlier.
Oh, Jessica.
Jessica. Yeah, he used to be on with her a lot.
Oh, yes, I do. I don't know him personally, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he does a lot of he does Bigfoot, but he does a lot of what I want to say, like demonic stuff, or what do you do when you cast out demons?
Exercising?
Yes, he does like exorcisms and such. So he's interesting, and we're a Christian-based show, and that is. Demonic is Christian. I mean, whether people like to admit it, there's demons in the Bible. So It's interesting to hear from people that deal in that sort of thing.
Yeah, Gary says Dennis is a demonologist.
Yeah. But he's Christian.
Yes.
So anyway, that was the rundown up into the middle of October. So
yep.
I see Martin's still here. Martin, if you want in, we'll put you in October.
Yeah. Send us a message, either myself or Mark.
Please.
Martin.
Please.
Yeah.
We really want to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you, Patty.
Yeah. Everybody here tonight, please put something so it helps the algorithm. I don't know how Al Gore got his name in this, but the algorithm, if everybody would hit the thumbs up, like the channel, subscribe, leave a comment. Even if you don't like the show, put a poop emoji in there. Every comment helps us out. So please do that.
And
We're
hit that thumbs up.
Trying to grow the channel, make it bigger and better. Stress Mary out more.
Yes. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe.
Yes.
We need
hit the all so that you get notifications for all the shows.
That's right. Hit that bell.
Just like I went and subscribed to all of Greg's stuff while we were on the show tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get on there and subscribe.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We need subscribers. We need them.
Yeah.
Eat 'em all.
Well, you got at least one more tonight. I don't know about anybody else.
Right here, I'll be getting in right after the show.
Yay! And when you
So
have
that's
Adam
2.
on,
When?
yeah, if you have Adam on, do you guys know what grimace is?
I have heard of it.
Okay, if you
Not
can find
sure.
a toy grimace
Okay.
and just present it to him when you're on air,
Oh,
you'll
okay.
get a big laugh.
Grimace.
You'll get a big laugh.
Okay. All right.
And it could be even a piece of paper. You know, hey, Adam, have you ever seen this?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll leave that to Mary. She's the art person. She can do that real good.
Well, all you got to do is just
I'll
print
get
one
one.
or whatever. You know,
Yep.
yeah.
I'll,
I promise it'll be worth it.
Okay.
I will do that. Wonderful. But thanks again, Greg. We do appreciate you coming on. And yeah, we'll get you on again. We'll schedule you for some time in the future, and you get your next movie out there, your next documentary, and we'll get the word out.
Well,
Yep.
thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right,
All right.
guys. I'm going to shut things down. And I want to thank everyone for coming on, and great questions, great comments. I hope I didn't miss anything. And I know there's a new person in here, M Nation Truth Behind the Woodline. He's been commenting some really great things. So
Yeah.
yeah, Macalorian, yeah, Grimace, the purple character from McDonald's. Yeah, that yes.
Okay, now I know.
Yeah. All right. So have a great evening. We will see you next Wednesday.
Yep.
And
Bye, everybody.
good night. God bless.
Good night.
And Monkey Wench out.